Hey, welcome to the Mortgage Minute. Hey, by the way, if you feel like you haven't received mortgage minutes recently, that's because we haven't sent them out. We've been very busy, lots going on, so we're getting back on track with the mortgage minutes. The most popular topic I'm seeing in Vancouver, at least Vancouver, I don't know about other parts of Canada, is the exorbitant price of housing. And I think today's headline in the Vancouver province probably illustrates the problem with Vancouver housing and the argument about offshore buyers more than anything. Here it is, student mansion. This is a $31.1 million, that's $1 million, $31 million house purchased by a student. So clearly, here it is, a student owns a $31 million mansion previously owned by Peter Brown of Rockspring Capital. You know, there's a lot of talk about, well, what's causing this big problem in Vancouver? Is it shadow flippers? Is it offshore buyers? Is it Chinese buyers, foreign investors? Let me tell you what I personally believe. First of all, it's a multifaceted problem that has multiple layers like an onion, and you've got offshore buyers, you've got U.S. buyers. Remember, with the Canadian dollar basically where it's at, makes Vancouver on sale. One of the things I'm going to watch for, I'm going to suggest you watch for, is the headlines leading into the summer months, because what I personally believe is going to happen is we're going to have a slowdown in the Chinese buying. The Canadian dollar's gone up. That's going to cause a slowdown in the American buying. And guess what? Canadians go on holidays in July and August anyway, so there should be a cyclical slowdown, but watch for headlines to almost create a self-fulfilling prophecy where they're going to start saying, hey, look, the number of sales has dropped, and that might force a lot of people who have been waiting to catch the top of the market to throw their houses on the market, which will create an imbalance of supply and demand. There's going to be more demand thrown on the market right at the same time demand drops. This could create a artificial bubble bursting in the Vancouver market, so I'm predicting a bit of a downturn there. In the meantime, Mayor Gregor Robertson is talking about the city is facing not just an affordability crisis, but a rental crisis. There's just not a lot of properties available for people to rent. Interesting, amongst all that, I saw this report come out in the Report on Business in the Globe Mail. Condo boom comes to the industrial sector. Look for this as a new trend. This is condo warehouses, and that's basically taking a condominiumized structure and making it almost like not a live and work setup, but more of a kind of a fancy upscale warehouse environment, so people can actually, rather than storing stuff, run their businesses out of there. I think that could be a huge trend. Look for those in your, if you're looking for investment opportunities, that might be a big one. And last but not least, volatile loonie shows the value of hedging U.S. assets. So if you've got U.S. assets and you're banking on the low Canadian dollar, the Canadian dollar is kind of hedging up a little bit, that could play a role in U.S. investments. Which is a perfect segue to our next webinar. I get asked a lot about, well, Peter, you keep talking about Canadian real estate. What about American real estate? So, for everybody who's interested in American real estate, we're actually going to have our next webinar is going to be May 25th it's a Wednesday night, 6 p.m. I'm very excited to have Jim Hynes from Rockspring Capital. Rockspring Capital, you know, as I've mentioned before, at TriView Capital, what we do as exempt market dealers is we vet a variety of different companies that offer their products and services. Rockspring has the Houston, Austin, San Antonio, Dallas, Fort Worth area known as the Texas Triangle. That's their area of expertise. They look for land plays where they can add value and have a growth and yield combined for about a 3 to 5 year play. Very interesting, phenomenal track record. These guys have an impeccable track record and background. So that's Rockspring Capital. Anybody who's interested in U.S. real estate, I would strongly encourage you to tune in to the next webinar that we're going to have. Following that, I'm also going to get Don Campbell on to talk about Canadian real estate. That'll be a few weeks after that, and we'll carry on with the webinar series. But the next one will be on the 25th. I'm sure in the notes there you'll see the details. That's the Mortgage Minute for this week. We'll look forward to talking to you again soon. In the meantime, go to peterkinch.com if you need more information. Thanks. We'll see you soon.